Welcome back to Market Headlines. Gig workers are independent contractors, online platform workers, contract firm workers, on-call workers, and temporary workers. And the good news is, Center for Strategic and International Studies research shows that the increase in quality of life of gigs workers and SMEs by up to 11%. Having a rapid growth across the world, a gig economy in Indonesia has a potential to reduce unemployment. Gig economy offers flexible working arrangement, flexible recruitment, and new job types. As a matter of fact, in 2019, the Center for Strategic and International Studies at Negara Strategic released the result of research on the quality of life of micro, small, medium enterprises and gig workers in Bandung, West Java. The result is satisfying. Research shows that an increase in quality of life of gig workers and SMEs by up to 11%. Another good news is the economic contributions of freelancers and SMEs in West Java through Grab platform even reached 10.1 trillion rupiah. From all sources, IDX Channel. And yes, viewers, have we ever calculated how many times we use service provider apps, such as online transportation service or online shopping? There are so many you cannot even tell. The platforms do not only help us as a U.S. consumers, but then also help freelancers who become partners of the service providers. And this economic cycle is often referred as the gig economy. And as I told you before, gig workers are independent contractors, online platform workers, contract firm workers, on-call workers, and temporary workers. And speaking regionally, freelancers tend to look at the countries that have the best offer for the financial income. So which countries do you think that the gig economy is growing for the fastest for the freelancers? Let's see it in the next graphic. Here it is through your screen. We can see the top countries for the gig economy. We can see US, UK, Brazil, Pakistan, Ukraine, and also Philippines. Let's take a look at the United States. Let me tell you, in 2019, there were 57 million people doing freelance work in the US. Of up to 50% of the jobs within the US are compatible with the remote work. And 80% of the workers say that they would like to work remotely. In terms of GDP, freelancers contributed nearly $1 trillion to U.S. economy in 2019. Impressive. And then next we got United Kingdom. The number of freelancers in the UK increased by 31% in 2018. And in 2019, there are now 4.8 million self-employed workers in the United Kingdom and joins us that the top freelance countries ranking, with a year-on-year revenue of 59%. And then we got Brazil, ranking for the first time in 2019. Brazil has seen a 48% rise in the freelancer revenue, which has pushed it into the top 10 freelance countries. And as we got from ASEAN, we got Pakistan. Freelancing in Pakistan increased by 47% over last year, and the public sector is playing a key role in promoting freelancing in the country. And as we got Ukraine, as the country has been producing a high rate of the IT student, which makes Ukraine known for producing experts in the IT industry for freelancing. And then we got millennials that make up 54% of the Ukrainian freelance workforce that take home 58.3% of its revenue. And then we got our neighbor country, Philippines. According to 2019 report by Pioneer of the Global Gig Economy Index, the Philippines placed 6th in the world as the fastest growing market for the gig industry, revealing that 35% growth in the freelance earnings. Freelancer and the gig economy trends are now on the rise, and countries around the world are helping both companies and freelancers to get the best business engagement for themselves. And how about Indonesia? We have gathered the fact in the next graphic. Through the next graphic, we can see that 14% of Indonesians millennials have worked in the gig economy, and one of the third of 127 million Indonesians work as a freelancer. And here it is, we got a fact from a BBC. In August 2022, there are 33.34 million Indonesian workers that work as a freelancer. And yes, viewers, as a matter of fact, in 2019, the Center for Strategic and International Studies and Tenggara Strategics released the result of research on the quality of life of the micro, small, medium enterprises and also the gig workers in Bandung, West Java. And the result is satisfying. The research shows that the increase in the quality of life of the gig workers and SMEs by up to 11%. And another good news is the economic contributions of the freelancers and SMEs in West Java through the Grab platform even reached 10.1 trillion rupiah. See the growth, we cannot even deny the hype. There are so many people that are interested in the gig workers these days. And let's see what are the push factors behind the hype through the next graphic. Here it is. Through your screen, we can see the push factors of that. We can see that the economic is shifting from the traditional work into the high mobility work, and then it got linked into less traditional manufacturing jobs. And then the rise of technology, we cannot even deny the rise of technology makes people have the tendency to work in a mobility, and of course easier taxations because government has set lower taxations for them who have a self-employed rather than to be employed. And then behind the good innovations, of course, there are two narratives, good and bad. Some people say that the rise of the gig economy and the platforms are assessed as contributing to the deteriorations of the stable jobs and an erosions of the worker protections. While the gig economy is recognized for offering workers flexibility and chance to be their own bosses. And to get deeper view, let's see the next graphic. Here it is. Through the next graphic, we can see the pros and cons between these gig economy. First of all, we can see the flexibility that the gig economy offers, and then the independence, and then the variety of work and alternative career choices that a gig economy provides for the gig workers. But however, there is another bad turns. There are the cons argument about that. The first of all is inconsistent income and no benefits, and takes longer to gain experience and vulnerable of explanations. And in Indonesia, the result shows that most of the gig workers were categorized in creative and multimedia, considering that 3.4 million people as by meaning of that, 3.4 million rupiah as the average of gig workers' pay salary. So gig economy offer competitive and promising alternative for society to get money. And behind all the pro and cons arguments, after all, this is bigger than just a work variety. During these recessions, companies are struggling. So it will likely to increase its reliance on gig labor rather than hiring full-time employees. And to sum up, with these current conditions and pandemic and stuffs, gig economy emerged as a lifeline for many facing financial stability. And this trend is likely to be even more pronounced as the current crisis is pushing many people to search specifically on a non-traditional form of employment that can be done from home. And yes, viewers, we hope that gig economy can help Indonesians achieve better life and reduce unemployment. And stay tuned to market headlines because we will be right back after this quick break.